and vmap has just to be created one time, and all the other execution are automatically just vdata, not vmap. Okay, so you change the, as you can see, this is for MySQL, but other database apply and uses subqueries, so you need a subquery support. Anyway, we delete the cache file. Okay, the program is launched. So it fetch every news and calculate an unique MD5 result. It also takes care of duplicates, because since you are checking the result of a page, you don't want a page with the same result but the same ID. Okay, and basically then the program knows the map and fetch the data with the case construct. The funny thing is that in this way we dump HR every request. So this is the most optimized way to extract data from a database. Think that the request itself is like 200 chars, very long. Okay, anyway, this works also on get, so it's less than the maximum value for get. Okay. Okay. This is just something that everybody knows. Sudo, by default, is the worst program in the world. Yeah, sudo is a backdoor. Because you have password caching. The password cached is not binded to your TTI, so everybody with your user can use the password you have cached. And also it log on a file that normally has weak permissions. So sudo is bad, because if somehow somebody is able to execute something as your user, but we already know it with rhost files, so it's nothing new. If somebody can execute something as your user, you are fucked. And also root is fucked. Okay, so remediation plan. Disable syslog anything, Antani. Say log to something that is chmoded in the right way. Disable password caching and use TTI tickets that are the feature that binds your cached password with your TTI. Okay, but here comes the nice thing. Well, I don't know if I'm going too fast or, okay. Anyway, how this works? The first thing that somebody tell you when you are working with interactive stuff is do dup-chu of a file descriptor to a file descriptor that is open dev null. So you basically duplicate the file descriptor on dev null. Well, both sudo and su don't do this. Why? Because they need to work with interactive things. So if you want to use nano, you still need fd0 open to use nano. But this is known from 1997. So, and has been patched in init tools of Debian, because sudo su were used in startup scripts. So an admin was starting etc initd something, and something was using sudo su instead a program that does the dup-chu of the file descriptor, so it's safe. Basically, there's this yoctl, chost, that stuff HR into a file descriptor. This means that we can stuff a payload into FD0. So basically we are changing context because, example, we have an admin user. Okay, these the references for this vulnerability. So you have an admin user and an unprivileged user. The unprivileged user has a binary, malicious binary. The admin runs it with sudo -u something. He expects that the binary is executed as dumb user. But the dumb user can push char to the extern of the admin. Since sudo cache password locally, basically you get a local root escalation because junk user writes on the admin term who can do su, unlimited su, and you became root. We have a high-tech demo for this. I told you it was high-tech. Okay. Okay. Okay, welcome to Amiga OS. Okay, basically we have a root user that creates a group called admin and creates a user called Michael in admins. Create his directory, create guest and put Jenny inside guest. Now adds Michael to the default Debian sudoers file. Okay, now Michael is basically another root because he is an admin and he wants to operate like a root, but using his password. So we set password and we enter as Jenny, that is the unprivileged user. Download the complete file that you can find on references. Okay, but these are not slides. Okay. Okay, you download the program, compile it, or download a stripped and statically linked binary, etc. Okay. Now, Michael can do sudo, and he executes as Jenny the file. The file, the binary, push on the extern id / carriage return sudo -u root. Since the password is cached, this touch root hello 123 is actually executed as root and writes hello without the carriage network. So basically the extern executed id, executed this command, and hasn't already executed this because we need to press enter, but it's just a demonstration. We could put how many carriage return we want. So basically root is fucked. Okay. In fact, into root there's a file called hello123. So how to fix this? Simply don't trust sudo as a context separator, don't trust him. Or disable password caching and disable everything and go in the source and remove a lot of stuff and add other. So not very convenient yet. Okay, this was the demo. Okay. This is the last cookie, basically. What does that mean? What you see is not what you copy. This means that your clipboard is your enemy. Why? Because everybody of us use the internet to watch porn. Everybody of us watch porn with browsers. Everybody of us, on the right of porn, open a tab and click on how to forge, how to make something. And we copy stuff from the web to our shells. So, one could be on a page like this, but it's better to do so. Okay. This is the typical tutorial we like to see. Okay. Okay, I'm sure that half of you already visited this website. So, okay, we want to download all the beautiful images of Nella on our computer because we have larger disk, so we want to download the porn. So we copy the text and accept to copy only this stuff. The sad thing is that this is not true. So we copy something, we use the powerful Xerox copy functionality of X11, and this is what we copied. As you can see, this is different from the initial thing. It's a little different. Okay, this example is funny because it shows that self-containing payloads can be copied using user interaction to shells and using clipboard. You can store a lot of data into the clipboard. So, in reality, you just need one instruction or two instructions. Download something, execute it. This is self-contained and etc. So, later we will see the demo of this, because now it's not the right time. Okay. Other context, another time. Web stuff again. I don't know if you never noticed that some DNS administrators create an A record that points to localhost. Since everybody of you know how same origin policy works, if a domain has a record that points to localhost, and on localhost you have an application that has a web server, and something on this web server is vulnerable to an XSS, basically you can execute something on the domain. Team.it, effectively breaking the same origin policy. So this was demonstrated on which mailing list? In January this year. And anybody took care of this. You find a lot of domain server with records that point to localhost. Basically, you are saying, I share my same origin policy with anything that is on the client. And this means that the client could get pwned somehow, perhaps. Okay. Kuza, do you want to speak about this? Okay. This was, well, research, not something completely new. It was just make a summary of what exists and find perhaps something tricky and interesting. Everybody of you know local file inclusion. PHP is the best language to do local file inclusion, also from a development standpoint. So, when somebody tries to do local file inclusion, there are two conditions: that the local file is readable, and that the local file can contain a payload and a user attacker decided payload. So normally people was putting their payload into log file like BSFTPD or anything. Like I log in with user my payload and then include the log file. Then somebody think, what if I use session files? PHP session files. So I store my payload into the session file and then include it.